record this session. Thank you. Mr. Karim, Auntie Esther Balogun, Auntie Demilade, Auntie Bridget, Abisoye. Nobody is talking to me. You didn't get the question. What party are you? What party do you belong?
I belong to the Labour Party, sir.
Okay. So you are the only one who has a party among everybody. I belong to APC. Oshe.
So they're not make my God promise you.
So what do you desire in Nigeria? Let me start from there. What's your desire in Nigeria? If you are hearing me, just type yes. If you are hearing me, type yes. I desire in Nigeria where youths are allowed to run for political office without bias of godfatherism. My desire is seeing a country where security is the priority of the government and people can live comfortably. Okay, Esther Balogun, who told you youths are not allowed to run?
Well, sir. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, sir. I've had instances where people who are qualified enough to do it have worked up political party leadership, and they are giving conditions as to how they should run when they get there.
Who told you they are qualified?
Well, they have held offices and they have proved themselves what they kind of.
I think we lost Mr. Genga, but I'm sure he will join us back soon. The network for him. Okay, coming back now. Hello, sir. Hello. I'm not sure you can hear us yet. Hello, Mr. Gbenga, can you hear? Hello. Wow. Can anybody hear me? Just confirm that you can hear me. Okay. So the network, you have a network challenge for Mr. Gbenga. Okay, kindly just let's give him a few more minutes and see. Let me try and reach out to him. Can anyone hear Mr. Gbenga? I can't hear from here.
I can't hear him. Oh.
Okay.
I'm trying
And
to network.
his network. I'm trying to call him so I can exit and come back in. while we're waiting for Mr. Genga's network to to come back alive, let's just at least maximize. I'm sure it's trying to sort it out. Perhaps maybe his network was very amazing around them. But whilst we're waiting for him to come back, I think let's just engage ourselves in this discussion. We already started, and I think he was trying to make us understand the need for us to be involved in political activity. Some of us already are putting comments to say that we are neutral. Now I'm just wondering, those who said they were neutral, I'm wondering what your neutrality is about. Do you want to share with us what your neutrality is about? Somebody said, was it Paul? Paul, are you the one that said you're neutral politically? Who said, if you said you were neutral, can you raise your hand? Let's hear your comment. Why do you think why is neutrality your position as far as politics is concerned? Are we here? If you are here, let me see your hand. Let's continue the conversation before Mr. Benga comes back to join us. Is anybody here with me? Okay. Esther, yes. Okay, who else is here with me? Tell me, Taiwo. Okay, are you one of the people that said you are neutral? Or who belongs to APC? I think it's Abdul Fattah that said he belongs to APC. Abdul Fattah, are you there? Hello. I want somebody to talk to us about if you are in the political party. Somebody said she belongs to APC, Labour Party. I wanted to hear, yes, who is that person? Okay, Damilola, you can unmute yourself and let's know. If you say you are neutral, let us know, and then if any party, let's know, and then why you are there, and what are the political activities that you are engaging in that makes you think your position is right. Please, let's hear you. Unmute yourself, Damilola. Yes, your hand is up. You can unmute yourself. Hello. I can see that you raised your hand, Damilola, and I'm wondering. I thought you wanted to share something. Mr. Gbenga seems to be having a very, very huge challenge at this time. Okay. Okay. Abdul Fattah, so you don't want to tell us why you are in APC. Okay, while we're waiting, let me ask. All right. I think Mr. Gbenga, I've been unable to reach him so far, and I'm sure he's struggling to join us back. But no problem. We're going to proceed, and I'm going to do that by there's one of our facilitators who is also here. He is supposed to share with us again on politics. Okay, I understand that. No problem. No problem. So it's obvious that Mr. Gbenga is struggling to join us back, but thankfully we have also in the house our second facilitation on the subject matter of politics, and he's also been one of our people that has been into the subject of nation building, entrepreneurship. He's an author and he's also a transformational coach. He's the managing director of Quick Sense Branding Limited, and he's also been into politics. As a matter of fact, he's a graduate of political science, and he had his first degree in political science. He's an analyst in politics and has been appearing on some national TV stations to discuss the subject matter of political education and promoting good governance. Mr. Gbenga will be joining us today. He was just supposed to give us a brief addition to the session just for about 10 minutes after Mr. Gbenga, but since we're having this challenge, we will just take over and share with us some of the very salient points on the same topic of politics, governance, and the role of the youth. Please let's welcome Mr. Femi Owoyele. He's going to be speaking with us briefly, although he might not be able to use the video. Okay, thank you. Let's Mr. Gbenga, are you back?
Good morning. Very well. Good morning, ma.
Okay,
This
Mr.
is Femi.
Femi.
Yes, please. You are muted, ma.
Okay. Thank you. I said, when we are trying to sort out network issues with Mr. Gbenga, let's just feed the floor to Mr. Femi to speak with us briefly on the subject matter. Please, right on, sir. Thank you for your time.
All right, thank you so very much, ma. Good morning, everyone. It really gives me a pleasure to be here this morning. And then I would also want to say that the topic right before me is actually not just very necessary, but is going to define the direction for where we will be as a people and as a nation. And it's very, very important, because if you look at the demographic distribution as we speak now, we all know what it says. It says that the larger population of the voting population is dominated largely by over 60% by young people. And that is in itself a plus. However, when you look at the composition of people in government, when you look at where decisions are made, when you look at that center that defines what happens to you and I, because politics is actually power, you begin to ask, then where are the dominant population? And it's really unfortunate. It cannot be overemphasized that the role of youth and active youth engagement in governance, in politics, has really dropped, and then needs to really, really come back to life. Otherwise, it will get to a point where you are powering possibly a turbo engine with an analog system. You know that it is eventually, it will only achieve less of the potential it carries to achieve. And that's what is happening to Nigeria, whether we like it or not. And it's not only in the number of days or years that one has spent that determines, oh, sometimes it's also in the big and bold ideas. But we are also saying that even if you talk about, oh, it's about ideas, ideas are relevant to time. Ideas have to be in tune with the realities of your day. So I think the young people have they understand the what's it called, the generational shift more. And if they are determining direction in technology, if they are determining direction, maybe with regards to even banking, with regards to a number of sectors, the things that are transforming our society today, why would we not now be at the ends of our affairs when it comes to policies, when it comes to politics, when it comes to governance? Those are questions I like to start with this morning, and I like it to be reverberating in our spirit, and then look at it from there. Then there's a quote that I usually say, and it's usually said by one of my lecturers then in school. It will say that when your politics is wrong, your economics cannot be right. I'll say it again. When your politics is wrong, your economics cannot be right. That means that the level of your economic development, even sometimes the level of your social capital as a people, the level of your everyday life, the dimension to which it takes and things like that, is usually shaped by politics. It's usually shaped by people in government. For example, if tomorrow the Lagos State governor decides that, oh, we want to do something in Lagos for the next 3 days, we want to say that nobody should pass the major express road. Nobody should pass the major express road. Third Bridge will be blocked and things like that. And you already have plans to do some major things. You already this and this and that. You believe on your human rights and things. Nobody will pass if he makes that decision and then has a justifiable reason or not justifiable reason. That is to tell you the power of politics. That when I say that eventually politics is actually part of the soul of life, it defines how far a people are able to achieve. It defines if you can maximally, as a people, achieve the potential that you carry, bring it to life. So politics is not something that we throw aside and then leave for people to decide for us. However, the topic talks about the role of youth, and we are looking at politics and governance. I think politics is a bigger scope. Politics talks about he who gets what, when, and now. It talks about action around power, influencing, decision-making. It talks about the authoritative allocation of values in the society. Politics really, it talks about, a part of it is also the political economy, where the commonwealth of the nation or the wealth of the nation is determined, is distributed, is allocated, and then where power is involved, where things around social capital, social contract, social responsibilities are. So politics is a big deal. So that is the wider scope. Politics entails basic details like you engaging, finding your voice into governance. It entails things around election. It entails everything that you can think of that influences decision-making that now later affects the society. But governance is more specific. So we can say that politics is like the big scope that everybody at everywhere is either participating in or affected by. But governance now talks about the specific acts of determining or determining decision-making, the specific art of, I don't want to use the word control, or managing a society when with regards to government. So when you're talking about governance, you're talking about specific people that are involved, people who influence decision-making process that later affects the society. For example, you are looking at maybe from local government, there's governance there, there's from ward level, there's governance. If you have like the councillors are representing wards, you have the local government, there's governance in operation there. So people in government are usually the ones that are really in governance, then also influenced by other things like the civil society group, pressure groups, and things like that. So politics is the bigger scope, governance is the specific. So to get into governance, you must first be active in politics. So it's a process. It's like so there's a you first join the general scope, then you become specific. But a lot of people are involved in politics, but a few people are involved in governance. And I think that's what we want to get ourselves into. So anytime you hear the word politics, don't just generalize. Be looking at transiting. How do I, if I'm even involved in politics at any level, how do I transit into governance? How does my action or my inaction or the thing, how do I enter into that circle that whatever I do or say influences decision, policy, and a rule process in a society? Those are questions in our heart. So, but I'll now narrow it down. I think that works as an introduction. So I'll now narrow it down to the youth. How do we as youth, how do we really, what's our role? Is there a role for us and things like that? on a broader level, I would say that, is there really a role for the youth? It is our role, even once you are 18 years and above, you are especially, except for specific offices where you say, oh, for example, you cannot contest for this office until you are 30, until you are 35, until you are 40, except for those specifics. Once you are 18 years and above, you are qualified, even if you are now 70, if you are 60, you can now be using other subjective issues like, oh, your age, you should be retiring by now, you should be doing this and that. But once you are 18 and above, you are entitled to qualified to be part of the process that from politics to government. So the question now is, because there is now a dominant population of about 64–65% of people between age 18 and say 40–45, for instance, that means that we are supposed to populate the process more, not just because we have the numbers, but also because that is where the Bible says that, sorry, I'm just using the scripture as an example, the glory of the youth is in their strength. We have the strength. That population has the strength. That population has the exposure, has the capacity, understand current trends, understand the use of technology to advance humanity, understand the fundamentals of life more, so that they are not delving back into traditional orientation or things of when it used to be at this, because you understand that the world is in transition. You are moving from one phase to another, one epoch to another, one season to another. So they understand the language of the time of they're like the sons of Issachar. I say they understand science, time, what Israel ought to do at a time. They understand have understanding of the times. So we, by virtue of not just being more, by virtue of also our level of exposure and understanding, are supposed to dominate not just politics now, but governance. We should be found in the arena of governance. But unfortunately, I think the reality, that's where I want to start from, is that we have limited governance on one hand to what we do every 4 years when election is about to, cycle is resuming. And that's politics. We have limited politics to what we do every 4 years on one hand. Unfortunately, on the other hand, we have been, we have not seen it as something that directly affects everything that we do, including those that are even in fashion business, you are in education business, you are in maybe technology business, whatever, you are in legal business, whatever business or work you do, you have not seen politics as this is the heart of the matter. It's one policy from a non-entity in power can truncate or mess up even all that you have been trying to build in your industry for years. And if you have seen, that's another thing. Don't forget the first one that I mentioned, that we have been, so the second one, let's dwell on it, that we have not been able to now see it as a value that, so then number 3 is also that we are carried away by our other things, trends. We are carried away by our needs, our own gender, ambition. I'm not saying everybody should be politician, don't get me wrong. But we're also carried away by our own realities. I want to achieve this. I want to achieve that. I want to be this. I want to grow my fashion business. I want to grow this and all that. That we are not paying attention to these things, and they matter a lot. So, and then we are also, because of our, and that's where I would now end the last point I want to make. We also have a dearth, D-E-A-R-T-H, that's the or paucity or a lack of standard or proper political education. When there's a weak understanding, for example, if I give you something now and it looks black and like it's a substance, you don't know what it meant for, you can be using it to write on a white surface. But if somebody has an understanding that this is diamond, I only need to purify it, the approach to which you will undo that material will be different. Not just because it is still the same substance, but because of the understanding that you have. So political education or fundamental knowledge about politics, about policies, about how some of these run matter a lot. And I can tell you that 80, if not 90% of young people don't have this basic education. Well, for example, How do you see something in your environment, like a major thing that has been troubling you, and you want it to become a policy that it becomes a law, and then you are able to resolve it? You can start. Something is wrong in your, maybe your society that you've been perpetuating and things like that. You can come up together, present it as a possible whatever to whoever is representing you, maybe your constituency. That's if you know, oh, that this thing is not absolutely so difficult like that. You can actually write a letter to say, we have identified a problem and we feel that if you have this solution, it can provide this and this for our community. It can solve this problem. It can make people to be better, have better life and things like that. If you know that, oh, there's a process that you can come together and write this thing and eventually get it to your representative. And when he sees value in it, you follow up with him. He can make it a bill. Then write a bill, put it a bill to the maybe state assembly, depending on the jurisdiction, or national assembly. Take it there and begin to canvass for what you call lobbying, mobilization, and then this thing can be presented in the House, and it can go through the first reading, second reading, go to committee stage, go to until it becomes eventually debated on and becomes a law. You would not know that you have that power if you don't have fundamental political education. You would not know, for example, also that you have power, or there are things that you can ask, even as a citizen. There are things that you can begin to say. You do not know that there are things that you need to just understand some government policy. Oh, what is government policy with regards to? It's not until you now hear Naira is scarce, Naira is scarce. You are now trying to understand why. Basic fundamental political education with regards to election. What are the things that are required to form in a political party? Oh, can I join? What is the requirement? Oh, this and this. No, you don't even know that you could have contested the election. Imagine you have known some of these things and mobilized with what you think is your little influence. You could have been a candidate for even maybe one of the parties in the last election. You don't know. You just continue to see problems and things. That's why I said that the foundation of some of these things now comes back to our education. What level of, and I'm not talking about your study of maybe law or medicine or whatever. I'm talking of basic political. I'm not also saying you should go and study political science like me. I'm just saying that you need to start understanding basic things about how is the state organized, what are the fundamentals that are needed, what is my role. You can check some of what is my role. How can I influence policies? Do I even know who my local government chairman is? Okay, I don't even want to know his name, but do I know the process to getting some things? Do I know that maybe this thing we are complaining is not even in the jurisdiction of the state government? This thing we are complaining, someone is bad, so it's even in the jurisdiction of the local government. These market issues that we are having, this drainage that is giving us problem in this market area, whatever, that is causing whatever every time there is rain. Do I even know that all I need to do is to find a way to approach the local government and not complain about Sanwo-Olu and government and Lagos and things like that? But until we start getting to that consciousness, and that's where I want us to start from, that what is our role? Coming to the solution, now, number one is our consciousness. We need to be conscious. We need to not just be living life as it comes. Oh, garbage in, garbage out. I want to just do this, I want to do that. No. We need to start living life consciously of the value or the essence of politics and eventually governance. Number two is also content, which I just explained now. You have to now start having basic understanding. You need to start learning more. You need to start gaining understanding. You need to start having conversations around this. Don't everything politics. Me, I don't want to know government. Anybody that becomes, I don't care. Only election time you care. And then when your candidate does not win, you are disappointed. What is the process to evolving a candidate? Was Tinubu, Atiku, and Peter Obi the best candidate you could have had as in 2023 election? But we don't have any choice. So let's even assume that maybe this system produced a devil and a Satan. We would not have a choice but to vote for one of the two. But what is the process that ended up bringing the devil and Satan? We were not part of it. We were not concerned. We were only analyzing on Instagram and on Facebook. And then we will now say that, oh, there is this is it. We don't want this. We don't want this. What were you part of? Which process were you part of? So I talked about having that conversations. That's the content. You need to now start building content. The next one I will say is commitment. Nothing changes except there is force attached. You know, when you analyze, except until there is a force attached to an object in a static position, it does not move. So commitment is what is also needed at a level. Commitment, consciousness, I've talked about that. I've talked about your content, which is under having knowledge. I'm now talking about your commitment now. As a person, you must be committed to the cause. And because why are we even living life? You are not living life to make money and be happy, have a family, and you are good to go. You are living life to make impact. You are living life to also let it be said that your life blessed humanity and glorifies God. You are living life so that it's not for yourself. You know where this song that we sing in King, that this life is not my, at a level, when you begin to see your life beyond yourself, that whatever you do influences maybe even your sister. Let's say you don't have, you're not a leader, you are not a leader, but there's somebody that your life influences. There's somebody that what you do and what you don't do influences how they think and what they do. So by the time you are conscious of that, you begin to say that I'm committed to this thing. Now that you know that, well, content, now that you know that politics is essential, now that you know that you're supposed to engage and things like that, you have to build commitment. You know, commitment also calls for consistency. You are not just doing something today, after the election, everybody goes back to their business. Oh, and let them do whatever they like. Policy, you just be complaining or ranting. Sorry to use that word, apologies. But sometimes that's what happens on the social media. People just rant. People just want to also have a sense of relevance by posting something and so that they can have a name to something. I'm sorry, I'm sounding very mean about at that level, but sometimes it gets you angry to see that you could have done better, young people. We could have started looking at, and then so we could have now start looking at consistency as a rule. After 2023, let's say that, after the tribunal, everything, the person that won, Asha Imad, both at state and federal level, we now have a new president, we have a new governor, and then people go back to their businesses until 2026 again, 1 year to another election. Everybody starts saying, and this time around, we want to take our country back. Which country? The country you have led for 3 years, the country that was just doing you and you are doing your own for the last 3 years, and you want to take it back. These are people that do things. The president-elect, for example, when you hear things like, he was senator in 1992 to 93 before the election and things like that, and the last 30 years, he has had a plan to become president of Nigeria and has been doing different things. That's consistency. Even if he was a devil, I'm sorry to say that, but even if he was a devil, there is a level of consistency. The society and the environment responds to seed, response to principles. The principle of seed and harvest is a principle. If you don't plant something, you can't be praying and wishing and commenting that it grows. But if you put a seed, you nurture it. If by law, you don't need to pray sometimes. By natural law, by the principle of life, it will grow. The question is, what seed are you putting on ground to cause a change within your own society, immediate society, not to talk of your state or your government, Nigeria as a whole? What seed are you putting in the ground? What efforts are you making? What level? And that brings me to the next point, which is now collaboration. You now need to start collaborating. See, start small. Anything that is big did not start big. Anything that is great today did not start great. Most times, you need to grow into it. Collaboration is a strategy. You start looking at, this person is doing this too. Can you join? Can you start learning? Can you start sharing? Can you start looking at, is there a formidable group? And that's where even joining political party is effective. For those who don't know, how do we even collaborate? My friends are not interested in politics. You can join. I mean, last week, I think, even this week, this week, I saw someone who was the secretary to the local government of where I stay currently. So I had the opportunity to meet with him. And I was saying, where do you do your ward meeting in this year? I used to be very active, but because I relocated, I've not been able to join. Where do you do your ward meeting? And it was telling me, they're always excited to get you involved, even if it's for the understanding or for the knowledge. Take a step and then get involved. It does a lot. It does a lot. And I will give you my practical example. Are we all hearing me? I just want to be sure that I'm not speaking to myself alone. Are there people here? Are you listening? Just you can unmute and say we can hear you.
Yes.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much, man. All right. Okay, so, very good. So I want to give a simple example. I will just use to affirm this thing. In 2006, 2007, I was on campus and then I wanted to contest for an election. I think I was maybe financial secretary, and I wanted to contest for election as speaker of the then. Or maybe I wanted to even it was the financial secretary that I wanted to contest for. Now, I took a decision then, because as a student of politics myself, I felt, let us, there's a saying in Yoruba that let us do it the way it's supposed to be done, so that it can be the way it should be. Let me say it in Yoruba, it's always sweeter. So I've interpreted that, don't worry. So my point was that I said, oh, this politics thing, beyond the books, how do I understand it better? Let me go to the where it is really done, because the grassroots is the foundation of any politics or any engagement you want to have with policy. I said, so I went to meet a man. I will come home. My school was in Lagos State University then. I will come, my house was in Yaba. So I will come. I came to meet one Baba then. I know that those are the politics people, AC, that was AC, the Action Congress, not ACN, no, Action Congress. I still have my card, my membership card. I said, Daddy, that man was about 70 at the time. He's late now. Then the second one too was around 60 something at the time. That one is still alive. I went to meet those Babas then. They were the Babas of the Yaba Ward, AC. So I went to meet, I said, I want to also join this party thing that you people do. I know they go for meetings every week. So that was how I joined the structure. Long story cut short. I would go to their ward meetings. Sometimes I will come, then ward meetings, I will go. Then from ward meetings, there is the general, you have by LCDA, then you have the Lagos Mainland. They are sometimes unified as Lagos Mainland under the 20 local government structure. But if it was 57 local government and LCDA, it would be Yaba separate. So, but I would come for that. When I started seeing, I was a young, of course, you can see, imagine that year, how I would be. If you see me now, say, you still see my small stature. So, but my point is that I was just that young guy that would come from campus and be joining party meetings week in, week out. There's a day they do it, I think it was Wednesday then. Then later, there was caucus. I will tell you the caucus that was trending then in Yaba. For those that are conversant, there was JJ Jet. Jide Jimo wanted to contest. There was also Lado. Lado is a Ladi, later became chairman. So there were caucuses. I started understanding caucuses, that you can be in the same ward, in the same political party, but you have your caucus. And I started understanding the caucus too at the state level. When we go for LGA meetings inside one of the schools in Lagos Mainland, I think not Kadara now, the other one that they wear white and green, inside the compound. And when we go into those schools, and as I understanding that this caucus, they start from this ward level to the local government level. And then I now later discover there is also caucus in the state level. So that's where you hear things like mandates group, you hear justice forum. You begin to hear all kinds of names. I would say, wow. And this was 2006, 2007. It was an exciting experience for me, because all up until that time, it was all school and school activity and family and church, whatever. But it was really exciting. When you see somebody that wanted to contest, I remember Lanre Oshuna he has won election now as the House of Reps member for Lagos Mainland constituency. So, but my point is, that was the first time he wanted to contest election in Lagos Mainland. I think he had been abroad, and he would come to our ward. I remember those meetings then to come. Sorry, you can see him, and he was going from ward to ward, campaigning and doing that. So it was an exciting experience. Long story cut short, that was where I started seeing how decisions are made. Then they were going to say that Fashola wanted to do some things, and then they would decide it at the party level. By a governor wants to do this, and they will decide some of these things at the ward level. It goes to the Lagos Mainland, and then informs or influences some of the decisions, for example, about the PSP, about the statewide. So I saw that, people at this grassroots level are relevant too. And as I see that, so politics is this detailed. But unfortunately, at that time, I think I was the only young, enlightened, like an undergraduate in the OSAP at the time, especially from my ward. And when we go to LGA meetings, this Mama Oloja, all these market women, artisans, professionals, and professional politicians that will be everywhere. And those are the people that will determine where we are going. So long story short, that mindset and those level of grassroots training, I took back to school. And sincerely, I won my election. Apart from that, you will see me having meetings in my hostel at 11 p.m. We are strategizing. Where there was a day we wanted to impeach the clerk that was giving us problem and things like that. I remember that it was just strategy. I built the caucus team. We had meetings because it was not allowing us to pass some things that we needed to move forward as a whatever because of his own personal interest. Long story short, so we had a meeting in one of the deputy speaker's hostel. We decided who was going to move the motion, how the whole thing, you know, all these things that you watch, that you see them throwing chair. We didn't throw chair anyway. But my point really is that we had planned who will move this motion, who will second it. Before this one comes, we had also planned, for example, when we wanted to do election, I started saying that, oh, why we need to get to venue early. Sometimes you will work out a strategy to make sure that maybe a lecturer tells where your opponent is strong. Maybe your opponent has 60% of the possible votes, and you have 40%. You want to contest major election. You can arrange with a lecturer or a system to hold where that one has more influence down, that maybe they will say they want to have tests. And then maybe between 10 and 12, you know the election will end up. By the time, and that test will not hold you. But your own people, you'll have gone on the line from 8 a.m. before the INEC people come. You make sure you have done your block voting. You did not re-go, you are only trying to arrange yourself. By the time they are releasing those ones, they will say that time up, election time is up, and things like that. You did not accredit, so you cannot. That's how you will emerge. So I'm just saying some basic things that may look very funny, but how decisions are taken. But if you are not part of the system, you will just be naive. You will think you are intelligent. It's not rigging, you know. It's strategy. You will call it political strategy because you did not take anybody's ballot paper. You did not double votes. You did not do whatever. You only work out a strategy to get your own people to get into whatever. And anybody that will be deprived must be the other opponent. It's called political strategy. Maybe you should go and ask people like Asiwaju, they will tell you more. Okay, so my point really is that at the end of the day, these details are not from mass. They are things that you will need to understand. See, professional politicians are professional politicians any day. Sometimes so for example, the last election, and it was not because maybe I tilted to one side or the other. By objective analysis, there was already what's it called? There was a favorite to emerge, not because of sentiments. Now, by objective analysis, you could say, oh, this person, because of this collaboration with this particular state, with this particular region, because of this and that, because of this, whatever. Oh, you look at the religious card. How much can it play? What is the weight compared to the bias of possibly the northern Muslim, for example? You start analyzing some critical things, and you could come to the realization that, see, this was like a possible result and things like that. But all these things, they matter a lot. So on a final note, I want us to just get all that I've said so far today, that we move from just being parochial, being a parochial participant to an active participant in politics. And that will not just happen by mere thinking and mere wish. That our role is beyond contesting election or voting during election. I'm just doing the summary. That our role must stem from consciousness to understanding content, which is knowing the basic fundamentals of politics and how the game is played, and knowing that it matters to your life. You cannot just throw it. Even if you are not a politician, you don't want to be a politician, as it were. Be involved in the process. Have people that you are supporting. Have people that you see potential in, maybe your friend or whatever, and push them. You don't know who has the destiny of becoming the next, maybe House of Rep member or even the next governor. Sometimes encourage people. Don't castigate politicians as thieves. They are all thieves. Be part of the process. Also, be committed and be consistent. Whatever you're doing, this is just like an introduction. Then collaborate with others that you see and things like that, and eventually coordinate and then give effort to it. I think that way we will do better with regards to politics. We will do better with regards to governance. We can influence our environment and our society more. We can make things better at our level, and we can get a better result. Thank you very much. I hope this helps this morning. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Please let's give him a round of applause. I appreciate our facilitator, Mr. Femi Owuyeni. Thank you so much. You've spoken volumes. It was supposed to be a 10-minute talk, and then we've gone almost 20, 30 minutes. Thank you so much. And I must say, part of the things I have taken away from this is that if we're going to be able to influence politics, then we must go beyond just being observers. We must get involved, and that you don't have to it's not like you need to be in active politics contesting for a role, but you must be conscious of the impact of politics on governance and then step in where necessary so that you are not just victims. For me, there's a question that came to my mind, and let me start. Please, if you have your questions, you can raise your hand. If you have any question for him, because we have told this is supposed to show us, be an eye-opening class to show us how to be involved, how to get involved in politics. When we started, Pastor Gwenga asked a number of questions, and some of us were like, okay, we are neutral, I don't think I want to be a part of politics, or they don't give attention to youth and all that. But we know now that beyond just being a political contesting for a role, there's a role that we play when we are involved in the politics. I want to ask a question, please. My question is, you said something very salient. You are trying to compare or contrast politics and governance, and you said that you need to belong to, you need to be involved in politics before you can get into governance. I've always thought that there is a difference between politics and governance. I've always thought that you can actually be into governance without necessarily being into politics. For instance, I know that those who are public servants are a fundamental part of the governance process. So I may not be a political office holder, but I can occupy a position that is largely influencing governance. So I don't know, how do you speak to that? For me, I was thinking it's the other way. I was thinking that you can be involved in governance without necessarily being into politics. So maybe you should shed a bit more light on that.
Okay.
And then we will take Bolaji's question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Ma. Okay, I agree with you, only to the extent that politics this time around, by that definition, has been narrowed. And then that's why when I was
narrowed in
explaining
Nigeria,
no, in the
or
context
globally?
of this of your explanation, in the context. So,
Okay.
so what I mean is that politics. Okay, there's a saying that politics is the soul of life. So that means that politics itself is actually a web of activities. In fact, it is inexhaustive. Some people have become professional politicians, as it were, running the process of politics from party to party. They may not be actively even in governance too, minus public servant now. You know, there are some people that are professional politicians. They are not even necessarily in governance, but they influence. They know the chairman, they are the boys, they are the this and things like that. They are also involved in politics. People in public service, yes, those are like the engine room of governance, the processes that eventually now translates to what affects the society and the process of decision making. However, in a sense, and in the sense that I was defining politics, they are part of politics too. So, but that's why I said that politics is like a whole web of activities. They may not be politicians, and a number of them are not even permitted to be politicians as it were. Exactly. But they are connected to what we call the whole scape, because they also influence. Yes, you can say they are just involved in governance and things like that. But governance, like I said, is an offshoot of politics. It comes out of the web of activity. Politics is actually as basic as like we define it, he who gets what, when, and how. So it's a whole web of process. So, but in the context of a professional, like a career path or a professional angle, then your explanation can now fit into it. But in the broader sense of the fact that whether you do or you don't, what we do that influence policies, decision, and that affects the society is actually possible. So that's the sense I was explaining it from.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, let me quickly, in the next 2 minutes, but like please ask your question so that we can get ready to take our finance, our facilitator is in now already. Okay, Balaji, over to you. Unmute and ask your question in 2 minutes. Balaji, we're waiting for you. Your hand is up. Unmute and ask your question. Hello. The host, what happened to the host? You want? No, just unmute. Okay, unmute. How about now? Can you unmute yourself now? I've asked you to unmute. Okay, maybe you should put your question in the chat because I don't know. I've asked you to unmute already. I don't know what the problem is. Okay, I think you can put it in the chat room if you may still be able to attend to that question before we go. Any other question? Is there any question in the chat room? No. Okay, so it's obvious that we have a larger population of young people that are not actually very politically savvy. And I know that's the challenge with us, with our generation. We just complain a lot about Nigeria, about government, about how things are not working. And we are not thinking of how to. Now, today we have heard, don't just complain, start from that your community. And say, how can you be involved on your street? We are street association. How can you be involved? What can you do? What value can you provide? The more you put yourself out to, the more you are able to add value and the more people recognize you. And when it's time to look for those who give a role, then they see the level of impact you have made and then consider you for a role. It's strategy, like you said, a lot of strategy is involved in politics. Don't forget, if there's anything you must not forget, politics is about influence. So you must position yourself to be of positive influence everywhere you find yourself. Let's appreciate Mr. Femi one more time. Thank you so much, Mr. Femi Oyemi. I'm still hoping that we still have Mr. Gbenga come back. I know that he has another program. But before we round up, we'll be able to get a word from him. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, we appreciate it. Okay, so we're set for our next class, but I'm going to give you, there's a game I have for us to play. That game, we're going to just go through it. I don't know how to put it now. But before we do that, let me give you two minutes. 2 minutes to quickly go and okay, Abdul Fattah's question is here. Well, the question is on, if you need to take a cup of tea, you want to use the bathroom, you want to do something quickly, I need you to go and do it now because we will not be able to take a break for now. We'll take the break after the class on finance. So if you need to quickly take a cup of tea, you want to go use the toilet, you want to take a cup, or you want to walk around, do that while Mr. Femi tries to answer Bolaji's question. It is what your take on being competent and capable in contesting on a post while you are being told to wait for your time. Okay, Mr. Femi, do you understand the question?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Order above and all that, all those political things. Yes, I'm sure you understand.
Yes.
Please briefly just speak to it so that we can move.
Okay, very briefly. I think two things. First is that before the system itself, any system that works or that is working is structured by people, and most times to take over, I'll use a scripture that I usually like. It says that if you want to come into the house of who comes into the house of a warrior or a mighty man, if you want to plunder the mighty man, you will first bind the mighty, because he will not allow you. That's the point. You will first bind the mighty man. That's if you have capacity to, and eventually you'll be able to do what you need to do. So what I'm saying to bring it home is that sometimes I'm sorry to use the word, we overrate capacity and competence. When it comes to politics, we overrate it. So you tell me, for example, oh, this person has this in degree, has this, understands this, oh, has done this, which is fantastic, which is also, and I'm not undermining it, I'm using it in context when I say we overrate it, as though others don't have. Then when you say this is competent, this is in context too, sometimes we also need to understand that, I've not answered your question, I'm just trying to create a balance for it. We also need to understand that sometimes you can have all the degree or the exposure or the whatever, and then you become something. The dynamics or the reality of that, when you start hearing that, oh, there is this, whatever, you need to understand that there is an allocation that goes to, not money now, you need to pay attention to management of some other things that you have not captured, like different ethnic groups. This is the demands of these people, and they are wired. So that's why I said we overrate. Now, the other reason why I said we overrate some of these things is because it doesn't put food on somebody's table. It doesn't give you the role or the post that you deserve. If it does, there are some persons that we know, some that are well exposed, well experienced, they've had whatever, they are supposed to be our governors today. They are supposed to be our chairman, and they will do well. But that's why I said we overrate it. Every system has its own flow, has its entry point. You can enter, for example, into politics even as a technocrat. They've seen your values, they bring you in to serve as maybe a special advisor or a commissioner. That's a level. But on a general note, you must enter. And in entering, you need to understand how to enter. So it's beyond, oh, I am competent, I am whatever. They will still tell you to wait for your time. And that's why I spoke about the seed time and harvest. That there's a time that you come into system, just like everything. So you don't know everything you know in 1 year. You went to primary school, secondary school, university, and become. You can say, oh, some things may just be 3 years. Have you also joined the system from scratch? Have you started depositing what you call character and competence at your, maybe you join a group or that has political intonation, and you started doing they started saying, oh, this guy is valuable. Where have you, like Joseph, where have you started dropping your values that they can pick it that, oh, this guy is truly competent and things like that? If you have been doing that, you may try to now contest. Let's assume you join the party, and I'm not saying everybody should join the party, please. I'm just saying that let's assume that you have started giving ideas. They've seen the works that you do. They've seen that you influence people in your environment. They've seen that you are doing small projects, maybe doing free education tutorial for secondary school. So they've seen that you are actually valuable, and you can't be valuable to yourself. It must be expressed. It must be shown. People must see. Eventually, when the time comes, and these things, when there will be opportunities for you to come into the system. However, there's also the level. You don't also have to do it, like I said, at some level, begin to start and begin to demonstrate leadership. It may not be, it doesn't have to be in politics. It may be through a group, it may be through a system, it may be through your professional career path. You might be and you start demonstrating. When people see this identifiable whatever, they bring you in and then they give you opportunity. But like I said, they don't just give opportunity. People always like, yes, sir. That's why you say godfatherism in politics. Sometimes it's difficult, except you go through that route, but I also don't submit to that route. I also say that sometimes you need to show demonstrable values and quality, and eventually this is about be consistent. I end with that. Be consistent. Eventually, a system that will absorb you will come in.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much. I know that if we give you the time, you will take the whole day to explain this subject matter of politics. And I know that it's been very, very helpful for me. It's been enlightening too. And I want to believe it was an enlightening session. If it was for you, I want you to put it in the chat and say thank you to Mr. Femi Owóyẹlé. Thank you, sir. On behalf of everybody, I say thank you so much for your time. God bless you. Okay. Now let me share the game with you. 2 minutes, 2 minutes. Can you see my slide? 2 minutes. Is somebody here? If you are here, say yes. If you are ready, let me see your hand. I have in 2 minutes the question. Just take a look at the picture and show us identify the missing tiger in this picture. Identify the missing tiger. Put it in the. You need to tell us where the missing tiger used to be. Have the answer. Let me see your hand up. Yes. If you want to tell us the answer, your hand up. I'm going to take only people whose hands are up first. The missing tiger in the picture. If your hand is up, I will send you. Time is going 2 minutes. We have less than 1 minute, 30 seconds. Take a look critically. Where is the missing tiger in the picture? If you don't get it, oh, I will not be happy with all of you. The missing tiger in this picture. Okay, Bashir, your hand is up, Charles. Bashir, okay. Who is next? I need to see if your hand is up. If you have the answer, you think you know where the answer is, raise your hand. Don't put it in the chat box. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. I will give you opportunity to talk. Not here. You don't raise your hand in the chat box. Raise your hand by using the icon of hand raising. I will allow you to speak. Only Charles's hand is up. Hello? What happened to you all? Oh my God. If you think you know the answer, okay. Charles, can you unmute and tell us where's the missing tiger? Your hand is up. This is not when your hand is up.
Okay,
Charles, you don't have to raise your hand, but I will allow you to talk. Charles, please, you first.
Okay,
Where's the missing tiger?
I'm not so sure, but I think the missing tiger is on the screen now.
What do you mean by on the screen? Oh my goodness. What do you mean by on the screen? I've shown the tiger here. Now they show me where the missing guy is. Missing tiger. Charles, that's not the answer. Okay, Paul, unmute yourself. Let's hear you.
Okay, hello, ma'am.
I can't see the participant. Wait. I don't know if you are next, Paul.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm talking, ma'am.
You are next. Okay. Where's the missing tiger?
Yeah, the missing tiger is in tiger itself. It's in the tiger itself.
How? Tell me, where is the tiger?
It's on the grass, ma'am. On the grass, on the sparkly grass.
On the grass.
Yes, ma'am.
Where
It's like a camouflage now. Like a camouflage.
You can't see it. Too.
He's standing on a sparkly grass patch of the land.
No, you are wrong. You are wrong. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Who is the next person? What's the missing tiger? Please unmute and speak, Demilade.
I think standing behind the one we are seeing.
Oh, if it's behind, you can't see it now.
No, as in the legs are okay.
Who is the final person? Who is the final person here? Let me see whose hand is up. Olabami. Where is the missing tiger? Please, see your hand is up. Sorry.
Guys, inside the forest.
Sorry, who is speaking? Kindly on.
The missing tiger is inside the forest.
Kindly, if you are not speaking, mute. Okay, so Olabami Victoria or Abimbola, your hand is up. Where
The missing tiger should be inside the forest.
is what?
Inside the forest.
Is inside the forest. So how did you see it?
Because you can't see it because it's missing.
Oh, because it's missing. Okay, no, yourself, Jimmy. Thank you for your. Somebody said it's in the bamboo shade. Yeah, really. The missing tiger face behind the tiger's tail. You can see the face. Really? No. Bolaji, the missing tiger face behind the tail. You can see the face. I can't see the face. It's in the tiger itself. Okay, it looks like we're not seeing it. I didn't know this was going to be that difficult because for me, it took a while, but I saw it. The little tiger is there. Okay, so time up. Somebody got my 1,000 naira gift today. Oh, should I wait? Till after the class? Should we wait till after the class? Let me stop the share. Let's go back to our lecture. Perhaps we'll have more time to look at it so that let me not give in the answer yet. Let me not give in the answer yet so we can still have the opportunity to get the missing the tiger. Okay, so I'm so excited. This session is coming up now. This time we're going into finance. And okay, Mr. Gbenga is not here right now, but I have heard him say this thing very well, that you cannot be, you can't think of nation building if you have not thought of building your personal economy. It is your personal economy that will determine the success or your capacity to build nations. And then Mr. Femi mentioned to us saying that if your politics is wrong, your economy will be wrong. So there is a connection between politics and economy. And that's why the subject matter of finance is so critical and important to us. The subject matter of finance is so critical. So today we have in our midst one of my dearest sisters and partner who has also been a part of Value Academy and People for Nations for many years. She's blessing. She's always investing into the life of young people. She's an accountant by profession, and she's into business, and she's also been part one of our people that is I don't know how to put this I don't want to read profile because if I start, we will not finish. But she's an entrepreneur. She's a teacher. She's an investor. She's one person that has been able to start a business from scratch. When you say you start a small business, a business that nobody will even look at you twice and you look like a person who is not serious. And then build the business to the level of getting international recognition. And Mrs. Adenike Apeji will be taking us on the subject of finance. I hope time permits us. We would have been able to look at business finance and personal finance, but I don't know how you're going to do it, ma'am. Please, the floor is to you.
I'm going to keep you guys here because you are using my time to look for tiger. So
sorry,
the tiger of finance is going to jump at us this afternoon. It's good to be here. My sister, my friend, my Leonard colleague.
Our colleague.
Yes. Hey. I want to add the feather of lawyer to my accounting now.
Okay. Welcome to the club.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody.
Wow.
I don't know.
Would you like to share yourself?
Yes, I want to share my slides so you can enable me to be able to share. All right. So good afternoon, everybody. One of the beauty I love about governance, and I think I joined a bit at the tail end, is that it's actually a determinant of everywhere and whatever we're doing in life. Policies, I'm presently somewhere in the world where they are coronating a king and policies and principles are being enacted. And I was just looking at myself, looking at how their policies became so strong that even in enthroning a king, they have to build principles and I think that is something that the whole world needs to look at, adapt, be a part of your policy making, and that is very important. So I think that I really enjoyed a bit of that class, but let's fast forward to what my day is about. Today, I'll be talking to you about finance. And one of the things that I know that is a general problem, even with governance and policies, accountability. And one of the things I really want you to pay attention to in my class today is that accountability is a core to every success in life. Honestly, everything you want to do successfully, if you learn to be accountable with numbers and with money, honestly, you will be disciplined in many other areas. So today I will be talking to you about finance and in two aspects, in personal finance and then in business finance. Personal finance we will take first, because whatever you cannot do within yourself, you cannot carry out in another environment. How many of you agree with me? Let me see your hands. That whatever you cannot do personally. So you are saying something?
No, ma.
All right. Okay. So I like a very participatory class. So I might be spotting on you and expecting you to give me a response, or we have a response. But I needed a chorus response from all of us. So I know that I have an attentive class. So I'm asking, do you believe that we need to have a core personal finance before we can talk about business? How many of us
Yes,
believe?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
All
we
right,
do believe.
fantastic. All right, Paul says yes. Ronke says yes. Jumoke, do you agree with me?
Yes, ma.
Jumoke, I can hear your voice. Hola, Jumoke.
I'm here. Yes, ma, I do.
All right, fantastic. I just want to be sure that I have an audience. Thank you. You know, your videos are off, so I really cannot interact. So I'll be interacting and interjecting with us. So today I will be sharing with us first personal finance. All right. Can you see my slide? Can you see my slide yet?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
All right, can you see it now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, so today we'll be looking at personal finance, and personal finance, we say that it plays a very significant role when you want to have financial freedom. One of the things that we need to understand is that economic strength is built based on financial capacity. That is the measuring terms we have on earth. And for now, nobody can seem to change that, right? We have left the era of trade by barter, when our fathers were exchanging yam for potato. How many of you are in that generation? I know all the generation I have here is Generation Z, because even me, I didn't meet that generation. Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
So the thing is, there's a legal tender that the world has agreed on as a trade unit. And so each currency comes with different nations, but this is what it is. It is has come to stay. We are going to find ourselves going to cryptocurrency and other currency, whether it's on air on what, there is currency that is being used to trade on it and is used as a measurement of economic terms. So how do we manage such value to be able to build anything sustainable? Because goals and terms and achievements has been tied to it. All right. So what are we going to see at the end of this class? Number one, we would have been able to talk about what is your personal finance. You will understand it. Why personal finance is important. You will be able to identify that. Tips for personal finance management. We'll be gaining tips for personal finance management. Then what's the concept of financial goals? Why financial goals? Why do I need to set financial goals for myself? And why do I need to plan? Right? And then I'll be able to take question and answer. All right. So let's hit the thing. I've said that personal finance, by the virtue of the name that you hear, personal finance, right? my, right? So it's referred to as what you have, how you've been able to manage it, plan with it, right? And be able to achieve quite a number of things with it, right? I give an example. I started my business with 6,000 naira. 6,000 naira, four module, yes, 10,000 naira, right? And from 10,000 naira, I started building capacity into a 6-digit company, right? Where did I start from? Personal finance. What I have in my hand. I always, talk to a lot of young people who want to go into business, or you want to achieve a goal. Someone will say, no, I want to be able to go for and do my master's. Where I start with you is, yes, I know you need help, but what do you have? How many of us have heard that question before? I want to hear somebody's personal story. Have you ever heard that question before? You have a goal to achieve, you have something to do, and somebody's asking you, what do you have?
Yes,
Who wants to share? Yes, Abimbola, share with me. What happened?
Yes, I've asked that question before.
Okay, so tell me what happened.
There was a time I was trying to gather some money just to start up a business.
Okay, what kind of business was that?
It was a mini importation business, importing from China to Nigeria.
All right, so you wanted to start importing things from China to, all right. So what happened?
Capital was not that much.
Okay.
So I asked my brother to assist me in doing it. It was like other people did not ask their brothers to assist them. Why not just use your own money? I felt so bad.
So and did you have the money at that time?
I did not have enough.
You did not have it enough, right? But you had something.
Yeah, so I imported the little I can. I imported the little.
And how did the business go? At least you started it, right?
Yes, I started it and I was so happy. And I really wish like doing more of it, but the capital, the shipping fee was so much. I have to just
stop the business. Fantastic. We'll build on that. I'm sure by the time we are done with this class today, you will know how to be able to navigate such. And I really like that example. So can you see what I'm saying? The first thing that Abimbola's brother asked her is, what do you have? There are other brothers that are not helping. So imagine that Abimbola did not have that money. What has happened to Abimbola? That dream is short. And if you are able to manage your personal finance well, honestly, you will be able to achieve your dreams. One of the things that I've seen with people is mismanagement of personal funds. I have so much goals in my life that I've achieved by certainly just providing one skill. Say, can you, my friend here, Barrister Sholakwe, one day she just called me and said, sis, I know that you know how to give gifts. They want to sort out gifts in a particular place. Can you sort it out for them? And I said, yes, I can. And that skill that I just developed as a normal thing, I picked it up, and honestly, that weekend, I went away with some cash. I won't tell you how much so that you will not come and ask me what's up. So those are basic personal finance goals that we're looking at. So we're saying that personal finance entails you looking at how to generate income, how you spend it, how you save, how you invest, and how you plan for the future. All right. So that 10% personal finance covers all this. So when we're done with the class, you'll be able to understand a narrow way into all these specific areas. All right. So it's a term that covers managing your money. Making money is not enough. Managing money is more than enough, right? So making the money and managing it is what we need to look at when it comes to personal finance. All right, why is personal finance important? Why is personal finance important? Number one, personal finance helps you to plan and it gives you peace of mind, right? You are not running helter-skelter. For example, let me give you one example that I normally shout on people on. I don't know how many married people I have in this class, but I see a lot of people, you start planning marriage, you start saying, oh, my wedding ring and everything. And then you know that you are going to have a family, you want to, I'm not talking about incidents and things that happen. Life happens, but I'm saying that in the subject of raising a family, you already know that you have a process flow. And then your wife is pregnant. And then it's after 9 months, you are running around to say, hey, I need to buy buckets. I need to buy this. I used to ask, excuse me, meaning that 9 months does not meet you accidentally. What happened to your planning? What happened to knowing what to do part-time? So if you are someone that has good personal finance goals and achievement, you will be able to put the round pegs in the round hole. And so at the end of the day, you will have peace of mind. You won't be running around. So part of what personal finance does for you is to help you gain your peace. It helps you to set goals and achieve them. Personal finance can help you avoid making unnecessary purchase. I see this, I want to buy. I see this, I want to buy. Some people even buy when the money has not entered their hand. I was speaking to a friend of mine yesterday, and she said to me, even though I live abroad in the place where they have credit, I do not own nothing. I buy within my means. Whatever I cannot afford, I'm not going to buy it. You get into store, they are saying, look at this nice shirt, nice this. You are starting scrolling, hey, 100, hey, 1,000, 10,000, and you are just picking it. Whereas you know that your earning is just 10,000. So if you are somebody who has developed a good personal financial goal setting, you would know and you will be able to plan your purchases. Okay? Now, personal finance will also help you to plan for the future. Bimbola has a plan right now. She loves that business of importation. If you have, at the end of today, begin to plan and work on your financial goals, your personal financial goals, honestly, you will achieve that dream. Abimbola, let me take you as an example again. Abimbola, what other things do you like to do? What other thing do you do apart from this business? Is there any other thing you're doing?
Yes, I know how to make hair, I know how to make wigs. So
you know
I'm
how to
make hair, wigs,
all right.
make and hair. So I'm planning to build up my own shop, like open a small place. I think start from
To be able
somewhere.
to. Okay, so do you do home service, Abimbola?
Yes,
All
I
right.
do.
Okay, so home service that you do, an average hair, how much will you make on one hair?
The home service is not a regular thing because
No, I'm just asking. Don't worry about regular. I will get there. I'm just
the
asking. If you do,
low,
if you come home now and do this my hair, this braid that is on my head now, how much will you go home with as a profit? After you buy the attachments and everything, when you charge me well, how much will you go home with?
okay, if I charge you well, like 5K because it's home service.
It's home service. So you will make 5,000 naira profits. Hmm?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Apart from the attachment and everything. So now, how many can you make in a week? How many hair can you make in a week?
It depends on how customers say they want
No,
it.
forget about customer or you don't have customer. Just tell me, how many hair can you make in a week?
In a week, minimum 5.
5. So if I get you 5 people, you can do their hair every week.
Yes.
So now 5 people every week for Bimbola, and we are constantly going to get her 5 people. So in 1 month, Bimbola is going to be earning 100,000. Abimbola, I want to ask you a question. How much do you need for your import business?
With the rate of dollar and everything in Nigeria now, to start up now. So I was going to get a good thing to import in Nigeria. At least I should have like 200K.
Fantastic. So, Abimbola, do you know that if you and I strike a deal, I'm going to use my network to help you get at least 20 customers in the next 3 months? 20 times 5,000. 20 customers times 5,000. How much is that?
That's almost like
100,000.
Yes, 100,000.
So in the next 3 months, let's even give ourselves 6 months that, okay, between now and December, me and Abimbola want to set up a partnership, and it's to get hair to be done, and we'll make 5K out of those people. And so in 6 months, we want to make, you say you can make 5 a week. So it's 20 per month, right? Let's even say we don't get up to that 5 a week, and say we'll get 15 per week. Now, 15 times 6 months, that's 90 people. 90 people times 5,000. How much is that? 450,000.
Yes.
Do you understand me? So if I get you an average of 4 people per week or 3 people per week, now this is the breakdown, because the first goal of personal finance is to find an income. You have no business managing money when you have not begun from income. How do I earn is the first goal of personal income. That's the first goal. So we're dealing with the first goal of personal income. How do I make an earning? So for example, now we are using Bimbola as a goal. So Bimbola in these 6 months will be able to raise 450,000. Right? 450,000 naira. Let's say she's going to eat, do other things. She now needs to sit down with this 450,000 naira. Build how much she's going to what? Spend. Build how much she's going to do what? Save. If you do not save, you cannot talk about investments. So the first game is my income. How do I earn an income? And my first challenge with earning an income is that it has a lot of brackets that some people always have a mindset that I want to debunk here. I want to debunk the mindset of relying on people. Oh, my uncle that is in so place will earn me this. My brother that is so place. No. Earning an income should be built on capacity. That's why, this kind of training you are coming from, you are building your capacity. You are building your knowledge base to know what to strive to get. So your income earning is first of all not my uncle abroad, my sister in Oshogbo, my brother in, no. They will come. They can be an addition. But my first level of my own income gain is what can I do to earn this income? So you see now that Abimbola has that money with her. How many of you agree that Abimbola has that money with her? Enter in my comment section and tell me. Oh yeah. How many of you agree that Abimbola has that money? Yes, Dauda, you agree. Abisoye, you agree. Yes. Who else agrees? Who else agrees? Aha. Bashiru agrees. Yes. Do you see? Do you see now that Abimbola actually does not need her brother? That's the first thing I want to debunk in your mind in this class. Let me tell you, my first earning income was from 11 years old. What was I doing? I was teaching in primary school. 11. I was taking care of baby class children. And that was an income. They opened a book for me, even though I was living with my guardian. But I already had that sense of, you know, I want you guys to have a sense of ownership and responsibility. There is money in your hands. Your phone, there's money on it. All that time that you're using to browse what's happening in town, all those GSTAN, you can do data entry for some companies. Help them to capture their information and they'll pay you 20,000 per month. And I will tell you what 20,000 can do. So the first thing I need you to take away from personal finance is that your finance is personal to you. Your earning is personal to you. My 10-year-old child is already going for business meeting. She's already taking CEO portrait picture. She's already selling on internet. Mommy, please now help me. She already has Instagram page. You are using your Instagram to be doing TikTok, snapping picture. Excuse me. You are losing income. You are losing income. So income for you is first of all personal. That's the first thing I want to debunk in this class. So you all agree with me that Abimbola has money. She has money. So you're going to do a personal assessment for me quickly. Write down. What is it that is around me that I can earn from? Write 5 things. We're coming back to it. Have I stated part of the objectives, right? Don't mind me. My class sometimes can be buzzwords, but let's just keep moving, right? Now, I want to give you some tips. I've already started. Make your, the first tip I want you to look at is your income, like I was saying. And what did I say? Have a generated source of income. Master the process of multiple streams of income through value creation. What value do you have that you want to sell? I am tired of African mentality, beggarly life. There is value in you. What value do you want to bring to the table that makes you to earn an income? One day, I think I was going to the university, and my father had to call me one day and be crying. Why? You don't ask for money. Why? I had taken my time to see what the girls in the hostel are looking for. They're looking for slippers, fashion things. And me, I'm coming from Lagos. Do you understand? So I carried myself, Jeje. I will come to Lagos, buy palm slippers, make it at 400 naira, 350. I'll go and design it towards Yaba. Then I will carry it to Agoiwe and go and sell it at 1,500, 1,800. What way are you generating income? Do you understand? So I'll beg to say that you need to begin your personal finance from what? Generating income. And I said to you in that generating income is master it. What did I say? Master it. Number 2, spending. How many of us know that once money enter your hand, what's the first thing you're looking at? What's going on? Boys, I hit jackpot today. You can imagine me having somebody giving me $100,000 now. Please, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Let me hear in the comment section. What's the first thing? Fantastic. I like you, Bolaji. You don't even like. The first thing is I have a need. How many of you don't have a need list? If you don't have a need, watch a Apple laptop. Yes, so touch screen. Yes. Oh yeah, I want to hear. I want to know if I have an active class. I can't move forward without an active class. Please. Let me hear. Where are the needs now? Oh yeah, show me your needs. You don't know what I want to buy for you now. You are just there hiding your needs. Oh yeah, you just hit $100K now. Sewing machine, I say, right? Tools, my hair, my dress. I like that. Need no they finish, and that's true. So when you earn money, the first thing you're looking at is I need to spend. And let me say to you, spending is not a bad habit. What is a bad habit? Is not spending the right way. Money is to be spent. Yoruba say, "Nino lowo." Are you not going to spend the money? It is crazy people, mad politicians that go and be hiding money under the ground and be keeping it there. Money is to be spent. So when the money comes, the first thing that comes to your mind is, hey, it's time to spend. But I have a principle to help you in spending. Have an expense budget and spend less than you earn. If you are earning 100,000, don't spend the whole 100,000. When I get money now, do you know the first thing I'll do? I'll write down all the things I need to do. Line by line. Then I now do economics of what they call it now, priority list. Which one is more important? For example, you have an expense list of saying, I need to see the movie, I need to buy my textbooks, I need to buy a tongue to make hair, I need to do this. Now, in priority list, will you put biscuit first before tongue? Oh yeah, answer my question. Will you put biscuit first? Are we together? All right, no. Why? Can somebody unmute and speak? Why will you not put biscuit first?
Yeah, because biscuit is not my priority based on my scale of preference.
Thank you very much. Based on the scale of preference, biscuit is not your priority. You just want to feel your craving. So you can imagine when you now bring out your list of spending of the month and you are seeing biscuit 50,000, suya 10,000. Then all the other things that you need, you now put them down. What has happened to your income? It has leaked away. So in the order of priority, you will now state and say, okay, this is what I need to do. This is what I need to do. And then you will pick the most important, the least important. There are days that you will have excess, right? The more your income, yes, that is if you keep a list of your expenses, you have to. That's part of what the training is doing to you. You have to. In fact, in those days, I used to carry diary, but now because of technology, it's interesting. I put it on my phone. You must have. It's good. Another way I do it is that I use transfer. So at the end of the month, I download my bank statement, or anytime I'm free, I download my bank statement. I look at, I say, McDonald's, Domino Pizza, problem, Tiwa. You know that there's a problem, right? So in the order of preference, is always better. The culture and the habit that is best is to first of all make a list. How many of us are salary earners here or business people? I want to see in category. If you're a business person, raise up your hand with the system. Raise up your hand from the system. Yes. How many business people do we have? 1, 2. Okay, some are business and yeah. All right. So most of us are, yeah. How many business people? Yes, this is how Bolaji raised his hand is what I want. Right? Sorry, please give me a minute. Yes, how Bolaji raised his hand is what I want. How many people are business people here? I can only see one person. Okay. How many people are working? They're actually working. Salary earner. All right. Fantastic. 1 person. 2. Yes. Dauda. Yes. Okay. So we have more salary earners than business people. Fantastic. Now, you can put down your hand. If you are earning salary, I give an example. My salary is 100,000 naira every month. I already know what I'm expecting for the month. Now, what are your expenses? You have an expense list. I am paying rent. Don't wait for the end of the year before you remove your rent to somewhere. Your rent is 40,000 naira per annum. Do you know that 40,000 divided by 12, you need to be putting down 3,000 naira somewhere every month. In fact, the way I discipline myself, those days I used to do a job so that no accidental expense will come and meet me. So all my projects, I would have planned it that, okay, I'm doing my project in May. I want to be able to buy a sewing machine, do this, do this, do this. So, and I go and look for a job that will cover 70,000 naira. I'll just leave only my transport money and everything. So when you bring Bukata, you will not meet anything. I'm sorry. I've already projected life to a particular level. So I expect that you put an expense. Now, to those who want to tell me that, oh, but I live by faith, fantastic. There's nothing wrong with living by faith. But when your faith opens up and something happens, please still bring out your expense sheets and say, "To, by faith, I saw this money. What will I do with it by faith?" And in the order of priority, you do the same, okay? That alone would come to spending. Now, let's come to saving. Saving is a habit. What do I call saving? A habit. I remember one year I went for a project and I was not around for a while. I went to do GTB. They must remove a standing order. They must remove a particular amount from my account every month. Every month. I didn't even have any project I was looking forward to, but I just knew that that money needed to be saved. There's something called saving for the rainy day. So create the habit of saving a percentage. The general notion says save 5%. But for me, if you don't have Bukata yet, what do I call Bukata? If you don't have work that you have not started raising children, you have not started doing, all those big commitment things, that is the time to save. In fact, if you ask me, it is while I'm single that I should be more of a business person than when I'm married. Don't be in the gang of the people that they say, oh, it's the first money that you see as a child, it's money that you used to eat. No, it's not correct. So create a saving habit, right? Take a percentage of your income and put aside. Some people do it in a better way. They use a job because there are different ways you can discipline yourself. I like to be practical in my classes so that you can see how to achieve these things. People are achieving it. Now, You need to know what pattern works for you. People do daily contribution. Every day, I must put 1,000 inside it. There was a time I did colo. Every day, whatever I do, or whatever I must go and put any extra income that comes from me inside that bank. By the time I opened that box, I paid my children's school fees 150,000 naira. So you need to cultivate, consciously cultivate it. Train yourself to have that habit. They call Allah Jesheku. Eat and remain small. Don't eat everything. All right. So yes, you know that what they mean. Allah Jesheku means eat and remain small. Don't eat everything. So your saving habit needs to be on point. You need to be critical with your saving habits. Be deliberate. Be conscious about it. You can use bank app. You can use there was one people that did an app, Colo something that I don't know the name. They built an app. There are many ways that you can save. If you don't want to do the physical one, you can do the electronic one. Put a standing order on your back. Yes, Piggyverse. Thank you. There's Piggyverse. There are different conditions. If 500 now, that 200 now that you are using to buy sweet, honestly, it has an impact. Save it, save it, save it. You know, I just told you that I started business with how much? 10,000 naira. And I mean it. Because let me say to you that the way you are not able to manage what you have, when we give you to go and do, you cannot manage that one too. Many mismanaged businesses that collapsed. These are the reasons. Right? Now, we talk about investing. Now, in investment, I say, make your money work for you. Either investing in a business idea or a thriving organization or in shares. Now, when you save that money, you know, like, for example, I said I saved some money in the bank. I just put a standing order. Especially when you're single. I really want to talk to young people that are not yet married. Please begin. There's nothing that stops you. Nothing in the school of thought hinders you from investing. Some people have never even gone to learn anything about shares. I'm not saying that shares may have fallen. That's not the only kind of investment that exists, right? That's just one out of many. You can have collaboration. You can have businesses that are thriving and you feel that I have this 100,000 just sitting there in my bank. Oh yeah, take. I had people who invested in my company last year and they walk back away with 80% more of what they would have kept somewhere. That's investments. Adding value to that money that you have kept aside. That's what investment means. And so however you're going to find the right investment is what you now need to begin to look at. Right? There are investment houses, there are discount houses that you can look at that are genuine and credible. Look at them. I have a friend who traveled out one time and put his money in an investment house. And in 10 years is back. The money was not the same now, it's breathing. Any money investment is breathing, is money that is alive. Any money you keep in investment is a money that is alive. That is when you start breathing. That is when money is working for you. That is when you are actually increasing the value of money. Do you understand what I'm saying? All right. Do I take a pause here and ask if there's any question before I move on to the end before we raise questions? Shall I go ahead? All right. I don't care. You want to ask a question? Please go ahead.
Okay. I was going to ask Ma about investment. Is a mutual fund a kind of investment?
Okay. Mutual funds, is this a kind of
mutual
fund? Because it adds value to your money now. Yeah,
but I think the value is very, very
no. It depends on you.
It depends on you. while serving with Stanbic IBTC,
right,
is a mutual fund money market. But I felt the profit or is very, very little. So I don't know, probably it's the type of investment. Yes.
No, it depends on the package they give to you. And of course, some investments, let me be honest with you, they are small, but they are more authentic. Right? Don't forget that there are many, I don't want to dive into that topic. Investment has a lot that is tied to it. There is economic factor, there is policy factor. There are so many things that is tied to investments. All right. So the decision making around how much they give you as interest on your investment is diverse. You have to, for example, check what is the interest rate on savings or investments in bonds and whatever it is. At different times, there are factors that determine that value. But for you, the first tip I will give you about investment is how credible and authentic. Please don't go and do Sogudogoji. I'm sorry, let me interpret it. Double money. Like what they call that one that crashed the other time? What they call that one?
MMM.
God bless you, MMM. How can somebody tell you that you invest 100,000, you get 200,000, and you think that's an investment? That all of us would have become billionaires now. That's not an investment. The value of money appreciates in bits. Little drops of water make a mighty ocean. Any investment that you want to put your funds in, once you see that it comes as a little drop of water making a mighty ocean, is better. It gives you more confidence. Stanbic IBTC is not going to fraud you overnight. If you are consistent with your saving and increasing the value of money you save there, you will see that your return on investment will go higher than going to a Ponzi scheme that now tells you this is what you need to do, and then at the end of the day, it's all rubbish. So if you ask me, what are other ways of investments? I don't want to dive into that in this class because I won't finish, right? But investment houses exist, finance people exist, just for knowledge sake. Understand what is going on around. Some people entered into scam now. They go and invest in farm. I will give you 50% in farmers. Then the farmers should have become great in farming investments. You say you want to collect 50%. How? It can't work. So those are the ways to put your heads to it. Any business anybody is bringing to you, think about it. Do you understand? If Bimbola is bringing me to that China business now, I will ask her questions. Oh, Bimbola, what is the China business about? How much are you buying the goods? What are you understand? Oh, is shoe selling in Nigeria like that? That Bimbola says she will sell 1,000 pieces. That's already give you an idea of what is happening. So basic information decisions about investment is your knowledge gap. You have to build your knowledge gap, and there are diverse ways of building your knowledge gap. Read vastly or ask an investment house, right? So I've answered your question. My time is fast running.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so let's move. Now, financial planning, right? What are your financial planning routes? Look at this easily. Set financial goals. I'm building on the question that you asked me now. Set your financial goals. What is it I want to do? Evaluate your financial situation. How much do I have, right? Prepare your plan. Write it down. Write the vision clearly upon the tablet that either running might be able to, either sees it may be able to run with it. Choose the best plan and do it. Act on it. Writing and talking about a situation and never doing it is as good as not knowing anything. If you are not going to practice what you are coming to learn here, then there's no point. Put it aside. Monitor and evaluate it. Okay, today you put it in Stanbic IBTC. Stanbic IBTC gave you 2%. Now you found another one by virtue of knowledge, and they gave you 7%. And you monitor them for 6 months, and they paid you that 7%, paid you back your money. Then you move your investment back to those ones that is giving you higher. So you monitor your investment portfolio and evaluate it and then say, okay, fine, this is it. Then monitor it, edit it, keep going in that circle, right? And you'll be able to achieve it. My time is up. It says financial goal is a target to aim, all right, and managing your money. So we have different types of financial goals. You have the short-term goals. You can plan them like that. There are some financial management that is for the future. For me as a married woman now, there are some investments I did for my children. It is for they are going to Harvard. It's not for now. So I divide my portfolio, long-term, short-term, medium-term. In retirement age, what do I want to begin to look at? I put that aside. So define your goals and set it at that. Identify the time frame you have to achieve that. For example, you are paying school fees to go and do your master's in abroad. You want to achieve that. It's a goal. It's a short-term goal. Because you are going to grow older. It's not when you are 50, you want to go and start acquiring degrees. I'm not saying anything is wrong with that right now, but then that's not what you want to do. So you know it's a short-term goal. Plan for it. Education. I need this certificate to be able to climb and do something higher. Is a short-term goal, okay? And then monitor your progress on it. Now, in financial planning, this is what it does for you. These are the benefits. It provides you a sense of freedom. It provides you opportunity to obtain and protect your financial resources. It helps you to monitor your spending and expenses. It helps you to maintain your budgets. You plan your expenses, plan your tax, right? And it also helps you to attain your personal financial goals. It provides an increased sense of awareness. You are able to monitor your environment and know what is existing with it, all right? Then it helps you to protect your family from financial uncertainties. That is not what we want to achieve, accidental lifestyle. Some people have used all their money for tomorrow to live in a happy family, to do a wedding. All those things are called financial crisis, all right? So in conclusion, I want to say, personal finance is a vital part of not only managing your day-to-day financial needs, but also planning your future. I said to you earlier that from little savings, I'm able to build a business out of it. And from what I have built, people are able to give me their resources to manage. I've now become an investor. Somebody can invest in what I have and make a earning. Now it came and began from financial discipline, personal financial discipline. So many people take no care of their money till they come nearly to the end of it, and others do just the same with their time. So time will create a value for you. Don't forget, we said creating an income. The time you have, you can raise value from it and be able to create an income flow. Then you are able to have a financial stability. In other words, success in personal finance is not a sprint, it's a journey. All right. The kind of savings and investment I was doing when I started is not what I'm doing right now. So it's a journey. You keep growing on it. So don't beat yourself so hard and say, oh, look at, I should have done this, I should have done that. Just know that it's a journey. Pick it one day and one step at a time. If you don't start, you can never accomplish anything. All right. So I think I want to take Q&A now because my time is up. All right.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so it's time to take our questions. You have a question for her. You can raise your hand, or put your question in the chat room. Paul, I think I need to give you a special tutorial on how to raise hands. Don't worry, after this. All right, unmute yourself. I said after this class. Unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hello, ma. Good afternoon, ma.
Yes, good afternoon, Paul. How are you today?
Yeah, fine, ma. Thanks so much for the section. It was on high opener, ma.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, ma, this is my
welcome.
question. I'm a salary earner and also a business person. Like, I'm into photography on a part-time basis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this is my question, man. Like, how do you strike a balance as regards business and your salary job? Because most times I don't have much time for my business because of my salary job, because I work 8 to 5 stuff. Okay, and the thing is, my business is really giving me much money than my salary job actually, but I don't know how to strike the balance.
Okay, so what's the question now? Are you talking about question in your earning or the job and the business?
Yeah. My earning basically, I earn more with my photography job,
right?
But also my salary job is nothing to write home about anyways. So I'm like, should I quit my salary job and face my business?
Now you're raising the question. All right, so that's a basic question about career.
Yes, ma'am.
And a counsel on career is not something you want to make so hastily. I'll give you a set example about myself. I was working for over 17 years before I withdrew to start my own business. And now in that 17 years, I built experience in different sectors of business: customer service, retail advisor, accounting, consulting, and all of that is what is bringing the perfect expertise on my business today. So it depends on your personal goals and where you are actually going. For me, it was a light of more of God's guidance and helping me to gather all the experience that I need to build a successful business. So it depends on what you're looking for. So that's what I'm saying. I cannot answer it a straight jacket answer for you. So go and quit your job because you're making more money. Actually, for me, making money is not even the first value that I want to give to life. Making money is not my first value. My first value is that I have a purpose. My purpose is to build sustainable business and give economic value to women. So I'm sustaining a goal, and it's line upon line, precept upon precept. You are building. It's a building. You don't go and pull off a roof when you have not put a foundation. No, it can't work. So if that job is actually, okay, what if something happens now? Okay, let's even talk about photography for a